Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Hope you guys are doing well. So, just checking up on some Earth changes, we see severe damage, disrupted communications. Category 5, Tropical Cyclone Harold hits Vanuatu. Beautiful island, beautiful area, and another massive storm. It's interesting how it seems like pretty much all our hurricanes and our typhoons nowadays, they're upper end of the strength scale, as we definitely have more moisture in the air, and we're going to see that with some of the storm systems going on as well. So you see residents of the Sanma, Malampa, Torba, and Panama said Monday that their provinces were devastated. Communication lines down in the worst affected areas, lots of damage, lost lots of buildings. And what will this spring bring with the floods? Last night I was dreaming vivid dreams of people on the move and evacuating from flood-stricken areas, and that was quite vivid. What will it look like with the Mississippi River and the Missouri River? And then when we get into hurricane season again, as everything just seems to be getting more intense. And what will the comet bring as well, as Comet Atlas comes our way? Bright meteor fireball blazing over the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and Denmark. So more than 100 people in the Netherlands and 40 across northern Germany reported seeing a blazing fireball in the night sky on the 4th. And there's videos here where you guys could see it going through the sky. We've seen a lot. You got to wonder, we've talked about the dragon's tail, and we've talked about Blue Kachina, wondering if Comet Atlas has anything to do, perhaps, with what we're seeing as far as an increase, or what we will see in particular, as many people are now starting to talk about what happens if we do go through a debris field in the tail of the comet. So, interesting times we are in, interesting sights in the sky, that is for sure. Here you have a brush fire that ended up turning into a massive blaze. This is in Fort Myers, near the airport. Destroyed more than 3,500 cars. Look at that fire. That's like double the largest one they've ever had, as far as in the destruction of vehicles. We're seeing really everything around the globe. Huge avalanches reach the sea and create tsunami waves in Iceland. And there's videos here for you guys to check it out as well. And somehow colder water always scares me way more than the warmer water. And we have a lot of things going on with changes. We were talking also about Antarctica and, losing so much of the glaciers down there, increasing the sea level rise. Powerful slow-moving storm brings snow and record rain to California. And you have records being broken over here as well, and also localized flooding. 5 inches of rain in the Santa Barbara County area. And you had a record rainfall of 1.12 inches at Santa Barbara City. Monterey saw 1.21 inches. Above average rainfall. The deserts are truly getting green. It's getting kind of mind-boggling. We're seeing grass all over the place. And everything is changing. This is what we talked about. Remember, before, in Roman times, the Sahara desert over in northern Africa was actually a breadbasket area. Everything is changing. And here you see record snowfall buries the upper Midwest, the Sierra Nevada mountains, to see 4 feet of snow. Yeah, these changes are really becoming apparent to people that even don't pay attention to anything, as we're finding some friends contacting us and saying, what do you recommend as far as growing food? And now all of a sudden they're paying attention, because you just can't ignore these things anymore. Delhi records wettest March on record, 589% above normal rainfall. That would stick out a little, don't you think? Almost 600% above normal rainfall. How many cars have we seen swept away nowadays? I got a feeling it's going to be pretty severe flooding this year, going through the Midwest as well. I think that's the area where I was seeing last night in my dreams. Have you noticed your dreams are being more vivid lately? I mean, it just seems like everything is shifting and changing. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, gosh, they are so shifting and changing like crazy.
And we have a massive sandstorm engulfing Baichen City in China. We've seen some pretty hairy-looking sandstorms. Look at that. Can you imagine seeing that roll in? Talk about creepy. Destructive frost hits southeast Europe, one of the coldest April mornings in a decade. And here you see super rare spring snow blanketing large parts of central and northern Greece. Yeah, we're in April, and Greece, look at that. They're buried in snow. And the swarming continues in certain areas. It is a little bit, well, we could call it ominous, we could call it concerning, or it gets your attention when you see these swarms still ongoing. You have 18 quakes over here in the Idaho area. We've been watching that. We still have some going on Salt Lake City. We're looking at Yellowstone. There's been more and more talk about Yellowstone now. We don't want that going because, obviously that is kind of like lights out for most of the United States and the Northern Hemisphere when you get down to it. And we see a lot of activity down through Ridgecrest in there. Still ongoing. And quite a bit of activity down around LA as well. There's lots of swarms everywhere we look in the West. And they're showing 629 quakes, which is pretty elevated. Most of the time it has been more in the threes. And of course USGS doesn't show everything. So, there's still, many have probably forgotten about the swarm that's going on over here in the Caribbean. There's 32 over there, right? Still going on by Ponce in Puerto Rico. And we have some activity in New Madrid, and also always we have fracking quakes in Oklahoma. So it's still pretty active out there. So here we have 9 most overlooked survival skills, and it feels like more and more people now are starting to get interested in prepping and survival and alternative ways of living and getting prepared, because we're getting blasted from many different angles with many different things. So number 1, unarmed combat. So what do you guys think about that? Can you defend yourself? There's definitely rising crime now. We are seeing it even in small towns. We're hearing of increased crime. How about lockpicking? Well, there you go. A skill that's going to increase the crime, right? Potentially.
Yeah, I'm a licensed locksmith, so I know how to do that.
You are? I didn't know that.
I am.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I didn't even know that. Didn't know the wife was a licensed locksmith. What else is she hiding here? 3, physical fitness. Very important. Honestly, since we've gone crazy now with so much to do and, preparing to start building a home, we've kind of slacked on that, and we're taking care of the spiritual side of things, but we slacked a little bit on the physical side of things. So we need to pick that up. It's important for us to be very, very balanced now, guys. We have to take care of ourselves in every way. People skills. Yeah. A lot of preppers, like it says, lone wolf mentality. But, you got to work on the people skills because, things get really bad, barter and trade, and be able to talk to a neighbor. It's good to reach out and start to create a support network in these times, as much as we're allowed with social distancing from 26 feet. Carpentry, woodworking, excellent skills to have. Primitive tool making as well. I always like watching those type of videos on YouTube. Tracking game, if you are a meat eater. Otherwise, we could say go berry picking and knowing wild. How about understanding what's growing wild in your area that's actually edible or even usable for medicine? Frugality. Well, I think a lot of us are getting more frugal now. That's just because of everything that's going on around us. And how about knot tying? That's a skill that probably a lot of people haven't thought of. Then I just wanted to bring this up to you too, because this is what we're going to be doing soon, very soon. We're going to be building an earth bag home. And so it could be done very inexpensively. You could get 1,000 earth bags for about $300. And that should be able to get you like a 20-foot dome structure or thereabouts. With all the flooding going on as well in so many areas, you could also build yourself a wall and perhaps, save your property from getting flooded out. Obviously this is what like the Army Corps of Engineers would put together. And it's been used by the military as well. Earth bags are very practical. They're cheap. They're very, very cheap. They're super strong. And, an earth bag dome home is about as strong a structure as you're going to really build, as far as a domestic house. And they're fire resistant, and they'll actually stop pretty much any caliber of bullet with 16-inch thick earth and walls. So, a lot of reasons to go and look into this and to perhaps even, build yourself, a little bunker or what have you. Because also they will stop a lot of frequencies, if you guys pick up on what I'm talking about there too. So guys, thank you for your support, especially over on Ko-Fi, where you can do a one-time donation to help the channel, or you could click over and do a monthly recurring. So just like you can at Patreon, Ko-Fi doesn't take anything as far as a percentage. Patreon does take about 10%. But you're welcome to join us over there too. We really appreciate your support. Now with the main channel demonetized, obviously it's tougher and tougher to make ends meet, as is the case with so many. And check out our website, which we're going to be keeping updating. And we'd love to help you guys out with energy work, biofield tuning, Vedic astrology, charts, as well as a lot of other things. We could help teach you energy work itself as well. So guys, as always, stay safe out there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.